Okay, how we're going to finish up is, like I said, we're going to go year by year. I'm going to try to go here pretty quickly because I know I kind of wanted to get questions at the end. So we're going to go through all 4 years. I'm specifically going to start with sophomore year because that's where most of you are, sophomore, junior year. The biggest thing you can do in terms of getting ready for college is doing a great job in your classes. All right, challenging courses to your ability, showing improvement through your GPA and class rank. One thing colleges will look for is they look at your transcript. Has a student improved over their 4 years? If they're one of those students that started strong and then kind of slowly went down, that's something they look down upon. But if they see a student that maybe started a little bit poorly as their freshman year, but then just kept shooting up, and by their senior year they were getting rock star grades, they may consider that student with a lower GPA just because they showed improvement. Okay? So that's really important to understand. As you get into your sophomore years, you want to be involved in activities, you want to develop leadership roles, and specifically as you're becoming older, maybe you're on a varsity sport, or maybe you're a leader in the tuba section. The standardized tests that you're going to take when you're a sophomore year, while the juniors are taking the PSAT, you will be taking a retired ACT. So it's an ACT that had been used in the past, has very similar questions to what you'll see on the actual one, and then we also have the PSAT, which is the preliminary SAT. Okay? You definitely want to start discussing your college options. You want to be able to attend some of the college fairs. The college fairs, there's a really good one at JJC. We will have one in, is it November? We have it, yeah, November, as well as Navy Pier is a huge college fair. All right, so if you want an excuse to go out to Chicago and go to Navy Pier, tell me how to go to a college fair. This may be one of those times where you want to do informal visits. All right, if you're taking a trip up to Traverse City, Michigan, stop at Grand Valley State and just kind of look around the campus. If you're going to visit relatives in Cincinnati, stop at the University of Cincinnati, stop at Xavier, stop at Miami of Ohio. You have all those colleges right in their backyard. Just go in and just stop on the college campus. This is one of those times when we talk about the career areas. Start looking into your interests and then become a major. Okay? Update your career cruising portfolio. Every single freshman is going to let you, like Kellyanne said, is going to get a portfolio as a freshman. Make sure you're updating. Make sure you're going back in the career matchmaking. We all know the freshmen, their interests change almost daily, let alone by year. So it's something that you have different interests as a sophomore or junior than you did as a freshman. This is one of those times you definitely want to start establishing relationships with teachers, with counselors, with coaches, because in the end, when you go to senior year, you're going to want them to write a letter of recommendation for you. Focusing on junior course selection. And then one of the things you want to start is what's called an activities record. Please underline this. All right, this is one of those things that as you go along in high school, you are going to want to keep a record of everything you've done. I'm talking about activities, I'm talking about community service, I'm talking about honors, awards, everything that's beyond just going to class. Everything that you can communicate via a resume, via a college application, via an essay, so that when you go back senior year, you're not like, oh, what was that thing that I did freshman year that was really cool? No, you have it recorded. This is exactly what I've accomplished over my 4 years in high school. Summer before your junior year, you want to explore job opportunities. People keep saying there is no entry-level job anymore. The entry-level job is internships. The entry-level job is fellowships, is job shadowing, different things like that. So when they're asking for experience, a lot of time with those real entry-level jobs now, that's what they're looking for. Is have you done an internship? Have you done a job shadowing, different things like that. And then beginning the college and university, the college visits, taking the official visits over the summer. Junior year is really that key year in terms of academically, as well as standardized tests and everything else. You can see the quote, you get it with your first 3 years, you stay with your senior year. So by the end of the junior year, your transcript, those 3 years, are going to be what colleges are evaluating you and accepting you or denying you based on. Okay? So it's important to understand how important those first 3 years are, but also that you stay in that college once you get accepted because of your senior year. Okay? Standardized tests, you will take the PSAT. Every single junior in the state of Illinois will take it. You'll also look to take the ACT or SAT over again. If you've taken in the PSAT, you don't like your score, you want to improve, There are national test dates. I think there's like 4, I think, in the fall, and maybe 1 as we get to the summer. Continue making visits to colleges. Start researching and narrow down your choices before senior year. You really would like to come down to about 6 or 7, and I'll explain why in a second. You want to research admission, college admission exam information. I just got a 22 on my ACT. Is that okay to go to Illinois State? Things like that. You want to keep going to high school parent nights, just like this one. And then eventually in your junior year, you're going to start getting mail from colleges. Being able to sort through that, what is something that really applies to you and what not. And the important thing is don't be that student that only applies to schools that give them mail, okay? Because that's very possible, okay? You get mail from them, you think they're interested, those are the only schools that apply to you. But does that school fit what you're looking for in a college? You want to start researching financial aid eligibility, you want to look at scholarships, and then the summer before your senior year is your big year in terms of college visits, okay? You want to visit different types of schools, small schools, big schools, liberal arts, public schools, private schools. You don't want to get to the point that you're accepting or you're going to a college that you haven't visited before. Make sure any college you apply to, at some point you want to visit. Okay? In terms of senior year, same thing in terms of academics. If you need to take the ACT again, you can. In terms of completing college applications, our deadline is Halloween. The best colleges, the most highly selected colleges, their priority deadline is November 1st. So if you have your applications out by Halloween, you're in good shape regardless of whatever institution you're applying to. What we have on there is you can see reach school, meet school, and safety school. Okay? What those mean is that a meet school means that the kind of student they're looking for is the kind of academic qualities I look. If their middle 50% is a 3.2 and 25, then that student I looked up is right in line with what that college is looking for. You want to apply to 2 or 3 of those schools. All right? You want to apply to a reach school. That school may be that university of my dreams. Right? If I were to get in, I'd be ecstatic. I'm definitely going. But their academic requirements are a little bit higher than what I have. All right, so that student who has a 3.2 and 25, that may be a U of I. That may be University of Michigan. That they're not sure if they're going to get in, but they want to throw that application in because if they get in, that's a virtual certainty. You want to also submit some apps to safety schools. Okay, if things go bad and I get denied by my reach schools and my meet schools, I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to get into these schools. All right, they're looking for a 2.5 GPA and 18 ACT. I have way above that. Okay, so there's pretty good certainty that I'm going to get in those schools, so there's always a fallback. All right, there is data now that's coming out that says that families should apply for a financial safety school. The more the college cost really affects families. That if we have a parent that loses a job or that has some kind of big health problem that costs the family a lot of money or something like that, a financial catastrophe, our student can still go to college because they applied to the financial safety school. All right, a school you may not really want to go to, but financially fits into what you're looking for. Okay, you're going to complete the FAFSA. The FAFSA can be completed as early as January 1st of your senior year. You want to continue college visits for any of them that you have not visited so far, and you want to develop a personal application with your statement, resumes, transcripts, letters of recommendation. So for every school you apply to, you can just send that stuff out. It's not something where you're having to look for more letters of recommendation, write in an essay. You have everything organized and ready to go. Attend college fairs if needed. Make the final decision. And the biggest thing that some seniors forget is finish the year strong. A school can deny you after they've already accepted you with bad grades. They can say, well, you were kind of already on the fence. Now you've gotten 3 D's and 2 F's. Sorry. So let's make sure that you finish the year strong. Okay? These are a couple, I'm not going to run through this, these are a couple of admissions options. Regular admissions, what a rolling admission, early decision, and early action is. Okay? Putting it all together. Final slide. The biggest thing you can do is it's a very complicated process. Right? Our nice long presentation has made it nice and complicated for you. The best thing you can do is be organized. Have a binder, have a folder, keep everything that you get from colleges, keep everything organized by college. keep applications, usernames, everything you want to have organized and ready to go, so you're not kind of flipping through papers. You have everything that you can pull out at whenever you need to. Okay? Please seek help. Every counselor is willing to help and is trying to call down seniors as we speak to try to get them organized, ready to go for college. We have a senior seminar that was in September for senior students to get them ready for the college application. We have information on the website. See the counselor if you need it. And then please feel free to bounce ideas, whether it's parents or students, off the counselors. We have a wealth of information. We have upwards of almost 90% of our students end up going to a 2 or 4 year college, and we help all of them. So we probably will be able to have some kind of knowledge of the different colleges or majors that your son and daughter are looking for. Okay. Before we go for questions, Kelly had mentioned November 8th, we're having a financial aid planning, talking about the FAFSA. We're going to have a speaker, Frank Palisani, he's a current school counselor, and he used to run a website called Managing College Costs. He has some great knowledge to be able to pass on to families all over the area about specific financial aid and college financial fit. And we also have a college fair, so we're going to have a lot of colleges and admissions counselors that are going to come and visit our high school and maybe answer specific questions you might have for them. And then January and February, we're still establishing those dates. We're going to have a FAFSA completion night. So if you have juniors and you want to come in and fill the FAFSA forecaster out, or you have seniors and you want to be able to fill the FAFSA out while there's a counselor in the room, as well as someone from the Illinois Student Assistance Commission who has direct knowledge of the FAFSA. So those are things that are very helpful. Okay?